Hello friends, this is Maria Riles with the Greensboro Public Library. Today we're going to make a sea creature suncatcher. This is a project that turns out so beautifully, I think you'll really like it. Here's what you'll need. You'll need some black cardstock or construction paper. You'll need some scrap paper to draw or print out a template or design for the sea creature that you like. Keep in mind, the more complicated shape it is, the harder it will be to cut out. So you might want to ask a grown-up to help you with the cutting, or you might want to pick a simpler shape. So we'll need scissors, we'll need some colorful tissue paper, we'll need a section of wax paper, or sometimes this is called parchment paper. You'll find it in like the home area of the grocery store. It comes on a big roll like this. And we're going to need just a small section. So let's get started. So I took my black cardstock and I traced my whale shape and I cut out the middle. This part is very important. What we're going to use is the frame of the sea creature, so that you need to cut the middle out fairly neatly. What I did is started right in the middle and sort of made a hole and then cut all around to form my shape. So ask an adult for help if you need it, and then we're going to use some liquid glue. I'm going to put mine on with a brush, but you can always use your finger. That works out just as well, or something like a Q-tip. And we want to put the glue all over the black paper, so even in those little curves and angles around our shape, we want all of that to be glued. So we're going to just brush that on. Like I said, you can use your finger. In fact, your finger probably works better for the tiny spaces than a brush would. But we want enough glue that our wax paper or parchment paper will stick. And this kind of paper is a little slippery, so it does take more glue than just a plain copy paper would. So we're covering it all with our liquid glue right around those edges. Okay, now take your wax paper or parchment paper and you're going to cover the opening of your art project. Remember, we said that the middle part's going to be gone and the frame is what we're keeping. So you're going to cover that like window right there in the middle with your wax paper or parchment paper. Press it down, especially around the corners and angles. Okay, then we're going to use our colorful tissue paper. These pieces are pretty big for the size of our whale, so I'm going to cut them into smaller pieces. You can cut them or you can tear them. You can try squares or little triangles, diamonds, just whatever kind of shape you like to cut, until you've got some pretty small pieces. Okay, so now we're going to take our liquid glue again and we're going to paint the glue or spread the glue on top of the window of the whale shape or starfish shape or seashell. We're going to spread that glue on top. You don't want the glue to dry out quickly, so I would do a section at a time, and then you're going to cover that with your colorful tissue paper. Just keep covering it, mixing up your colors. If you get to a smaller section, you can tear or cut your paper even smaller. And if you overlap, that's great, because you know when you mix colors, you get different colors, and that will look really pretty on our finished project. So let me add a little more glue. And keep adding our tissue. For this project, the tissue can be the type that you buy at a craft store, or it can be the type you buy in like the wrapping paper area. Anything like that will work. And as many different colors as you like. It's okay if you just use 2 or 3, and if you want to use a whole rainbow, that's okay also. A little more glue. Keep adding the tissue. It will stick to your fingers a little bit, and that's okay. And if it turns your finger a little bit of colors, that's okay too. You can wash that off. Keep gluing and pressing. You can make your papers go in different directions, and that increases the patterns when you hold your artwork up to the sun. Because right now you're thinking, I don't know about this art project. It doesn't look all that great to me. But just wait. When it's dried and you put it on a window, you will be amazed. It will look so, so nice and colorful. So let me keep going. Quickly finish this up. Remember, okay to overlap. Okay to go past the window, because that's okay. This is actually the back of your project, and the other side is the side that's going to look so pretty. All right, so let me see. I want a little piece to fill in that last corner. Okay, so you notice that some of the tissue paper is sticking up a little bit and some of it is stuck over here, but that's okay. We don't need those pieces. But here in the middle, on top of the window that we made, we're going to add another layer. We're gently going to add another layer of glue. Just pat it on. This might be where you really want to use your finger or a smaller brush to pat that glue on so that those pieces stay on your project. Okay, that looks pretty good to me, I think. So now, this is the exciting part. When you turn it over, you can see the colors shining through that window that we made. So you can see our whale. And when you do this at home, you're going to make it like this, and then you're going to let it completely dry, and then you can put it up against a window, and it will look really cool. The sun will be shining, and it will look so bright, like stained glass in a fancy church or courthouse or something like that. So that would be really cool. Let me show you. I have a finished one. I have a couple of finished ones. This one is that starfish design. I know you can't see from the camera, but trust me, when you look at it at home in the light, it's going to be very bright and beautiful. Here's another one that I cut out a fancy seashell with a special little metal die cut that made a fancy seashell right there. So you can use some patterns that are easy, like starfish and whale. You can try using some tools you have at home, maybe to cut some fancier patterns. And you don't just have to do sea creatures. You could do any kind of animals or trees or any kind of design you like with this same idea of putting your tissue paper down and gluing it to your wax paper, your parchment paper. So I hope you'll give this a try. And when they dry, put them up on your window to see how beautiful the colors are. Thank you.